I think entrepreneurship's really, I don't know how much it can be taught, man. It's something that's in your blood.
Exponential growth comes with discomfort.
You have to have a level of ego, but you have to have action. And a lot of people, they are so caught up in wanting to be the man or the woman.
Start somewhere. It has to start sometime. What better place than here? What better time than now?
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the latest edition of the Radcast. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the latest edition of the Radcast. I'm Ryan Alford, your host. Welcome back to another episode. We're live for us in the studios here of the Radcast, which is the home of Radical, the leanest, coolest, motherfucking greatest ad agency in the United States of the USA. I'm here today with a badass motherfucker. I told him I was going to curse at least 6 times before introducing him. Welcome, Austin Evans, to the show.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Good to have you, man. Co-founder of Lean Kitchen, ice cream mogul, as we learned pre-episode. We'll get to that. And just all-around good dude. But, man, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, thank you. Looking forward to it. I always like seeing if I can shed a little my experience or shit I've learned to other people. So hopefully people get something out of this.
I think you will, man. I think you will. So where's home, Austin? Where's home these days?
Just in Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay.
I smacked in the middle of the country.
Kansas City, Missouri. How far is Kansas City from St. Louis?
About 4.5 hours.
Okay. All right.
Which I go there for certain things throughout the year, some too. So yeah, we just drive over. We float there.
There must be something drawing me to Missouri. We're talking to a potentially, I'm not even going to mention their name, client there in Missouri. And I have never done business in Missouri, but there's been some gravitational pull here. We have a new on the podcast. We've got a new client coming in Missouri. I don't know what it is. You guys, the Midwest, man, pulling us in. Well, let's start, Austin. Let's start from, the beginning of, I know we'll get into Lean Kitchen if you're out there. This is meal prep and delivery of meals and things like that. That's become very popular. I know you guys are crushing it. You've got 20 plus locations and growing. And let's get to all that. But let's give everybody a little bit about your background.
Yeah, absolutely. So born and raised in St. Joe, Missouri, just north of Kansas City. Grew up just had the entrepreneurial tick. I think entrepreneurship's really, I don't know how much it can be taught, man. It's something that's in your blood, A lot of people have tendencies, but I grew up very entrepreneurial, and Friday nights were spent watching Shark Tank with my dad, bullshitting about business. I'm forever indebted to that man for the stuff he's taught me with business. And so did all the little knick-knack stuff growing up that you want to do. I mowed grass. I bought Red Bull vending machines and tried to put them into businesses. Thought I was going to get rich off of Red Bull machines for a while when I was about 17. Then went and sold insurance for a little while. Didn't enjoy that much. And guess I want to do something for myself. So I franchised a store out of Colorado called Fit Republic and opened a supplement store. So think like a GNC, supplements, nutrition, wellness. Treated people a way different way with way better service than a GNC. It seems like supplement stores, you get 2 ends of the spectrum. The side that doesn't know shit and just sits there and doesn't really do anything, or the side that tries to throw everything down your throat. And it's buy 3, get 2 free, buy 4, get 3 free. And the whole goal is to walk out of there, high five, and the associates high fiving in the back because they just sold you $500 worth of stuff. You never get $500 worth of results. You don't come back. So,
oh yes, I've been on that supplement junkie ride many a times. I have. My wife makes fun of me. We have cabinets at my house that's like the Land of Misfits supplements. It's where they go to die, like stuff that doesn't work.
Anyways, definitely do things different than that. We started just giving a shit about people, like helping them know how to eat, making meal plans. People coming in for fat burners, and instead of just selling them a fat burner that's not going to do anything for them, we would, instruct them on a meal replacement and not let's do 5 shakes a day. Hey, let's do this. Let's get your diet right. Let's take a multivitamin greens. And then you create a lifetime customer. You create a customer that wants to come back. And you treat people the right way, you actually help them get results. And through that, people started getting really good results. We had people down 40 pounds, 70 pounds, 100 pounds. And it was like, how can we help people further? Well, just like you and I were talking prior to this show, was if people could, eating healthy, convenience is everything, right? And there's a lot of meal prep companies popping up, but none of them were doing it to what I thought was right. And in terms of, and I'm sure there's mom and pop, like 1 or 2 location outfits out there doing it right. But a lot of it was either kind of healthy TV dinners, or it was, I don't know, just wasn't done in a way that I thought it was adequate. And then, so we started doing our own meal prep. But then I knew that I wanted to scale fast. And so I have a business partner, JR. JR helps me a ton on the kitchen side of things. I do another side, the growth side of things. And then it became, let's scale this thing. Let's make it to where other people can open their own. And we became the first meal prep franchise to teach people how to open up their own commissary kitchen, if you will, and distribute to their satellite stores. And it took off, man. I mean, granted, I'm totally fast forwarding past all the shit you go through and whatever, but it took off. And so now, fast forwarding a lot, here we are with 50 locations sold, 27 currently open, and everywhere from Greenville, South Carolina, all the way to Spokane, Washington.
Wow. Some great growth and interesting. I want to get into some of the franchise stuff, but let's talk about what are the. I'm going to go down a personal path here, because I think we've done my wife and I have tried everything from the make at home kits to, I'm not going to name like every competitor in the space, but it's gotten to be pretty crowded. I remember like Blue Plate, or I don't know. I'm going to bungle like all the names. There's become so many, my head spins. But I mean, what truly differentiates one from the other? And I probably tease you up for what sets Lean Kitchen apart. But I mean, I don't know how a consumer is supposed to know one from another now. Yeah.
So, I mean, to answer the generalization question of it, so a lot of them are like a lot of the meal prep kits, like your Blue Aprons, that's really the only I think of off the top of my head. They're where you're going to buy the stuff, they're going to ship it to you, you're going to break it down and cook it. Okay. So that's a level of prep that has to go into that. So that's a kind of a different realm, if you ask me. Then there's stores that you go into and you pick off your meals off the shelf, which is kind of what the model of a Lean Kitchen is. We also offer delivery, though, and some different things. And then there's kind of just like, it sounds like I'm knocking people. It's just healthy TV dinners. It's a frozen meal that is this or that, and it's cheap and whatever. So that's kind of the general differentiators between them. Where Lean Kitchen's different is, one, our food tastes awesome. And everybody can say that, but like, I'm a foodie. I love food. It's got to be extremely good. I don't want somebody to say, oh, it's diet food. I don't want that. And so I'll be frank, because I think there's value to get out of this for other entrepreneurs. We figured out really early what our identity was. Okay. So I was franchising to a guy, and he was mentioning a competitor, and their prices were double ours. And we're really reasonable. We're $8 to $10 a meal. Okay. And so in this space, there's, let's go in and sit down at a cafe and have a $16 salad. There's, and very good, it tastes great. It's also $16. And by the time you get a drink and everything else, you're sitting down for $20. And it's cafe style. It's a different model. Or there's ours, $8 to $10. You can come in, you can grab 1 or 2 meals, heat them up, get out of there. Or you can order all your meals for the week and have them delivered. And we do meal plans, like 10 meals for $85, for example. Or there's that frozen TV dinner, that cheap $4 or $5 meal. And I had a franchise prospect that was like, man, I'm eating this place's meals, the expensive one. Their stuff is really good. I like their steak a little better than yours. I mean, I like your concept here, but I said, it's a whole different thing. Like, so I kind of compared this. When you want to bring your wife out to dinner, Ryan, you can go to McDonald's. Good luck. You can go to, do you guys have Cheddar's out there?
Oh, yeah.
So I love Cheddar's. Me and my wife, we get Cheddar's to go like a couple nights a week, because I think it's really good value. It's good food. And it's just not expensive. Or you can do a Capitol Grill, a McCormick, you know what I mean? A Landry's, something like that. So I'm looking to be that really good value where you go and it's a good quality item. Maybe I think we're the best when you consider value, for sure. But yeah, I'm not using fresh cut expensive steak. I'm using a nice value, but I'm making it taste great. So we figured out our identity. So that's where we are. I'm looking to serve the masses a very quality product that isn't cheap and isn't overpriced.
Lean on your wallet, lean on your belly.
Yeah, buddy.
There you go.
Because it's not expensive to franchise.
Exactly. Hey, lean all the way around. I like it.
Fat Joe, yeah.
What's the, talking about, and I know you've got a podcast you're working on and starting, and maybe we can build into that, but which has something to do with kind of this question, but talk about the entrepreneurial growth path for you and, maybe some of those, to quote your show, speed bumps, that you've seen, any guidance you'd give, both what you've kind of gone through personally and maybe any guidance that you'd have for anyone else out there kind of going through that same journey.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I'm starting a podcast called Speed Bumps. And the whole premise of it is learning from your mistakes. And so my journey has been a whole lot of mistakes, just like any other entrepreneur out there. I'm sure yourself also, it's trial and error. Everybody wants a roadmap of what to do, but if you're really doing something different, if you're really going to have an impact, chances are you're doing a lot of things that are unique, maybe haven't been done yet or haven't been done yet to the scale you want to do it. And so I'll tell you, man, the biggest lesson I could give anybody and that I've learned myself is you don't know what you don't know. And everybody's ego gets involved. Their ego gets involved, and you have to have ego to some level to be good, right? Because there's a level of confidence you have to have an ego, but ego has to have action behind it, or else then you're just an arrogant idiot. So you have to have a level of ego, but you have to have action. And a lot of people, they are so caught up in wanting to be the man or the woman, and they want to be right, that they don't want to bring people in to help them. So I'm a big fan of you don't know what you don't know, and I am not afraid to ask questions. I'll ask 100 questions if I'm doing something. It doesn't matter if it's trying to learn franchising. It doesn't matter if right now I'm building an ice cream cone, I'm developing a piece of land, first time ever doing that. I ask so many freaking questions, man, because I don't know shit about it, And if I don't know, I'm going to ask. So like one of the biggest lessons I think people can learn from that I went through was when franchising, we started selling a lot of franchises. It was taking off. We're selling a lot of them. And then I started feeling like, man, I'm not supporting these people right. I don't know what I'm doing. I was in over my head, quite frankly. And so me and my business partner, JR, we ended up through mutual contacts, the CEO of another company that franchises that they have 205 locations in 3 countries. I reached out to that CEO and asked him if they would help guide us, maybe manage us, take us under his wing. And you know what? The answer was initially no. And then I got told, no, you're too small, no. And then he said, well, fine, I'll come out there. He didn't give up on the no. And he came out here to Missouri and he said, you're too small. So then I said, well, hey, he's in Pittsburgh. I said, hey, I actually have a meeting in Pittsburgh on Monday. And it was like Friday, and I didn't have a meeting in Pittsburgh. And I said, I'll meet you that morning. He goes, sure, if you want to come in, I'll meet you. So I flew there that night before. I flew out that second I walked out of the meeting and finally sold him on the idea of come aboard. So he consulted with us for a long time. And then the company really grew and took a really good path. And ever since the word throughout 2020, costs were going down, sales were going up. And he ended up saying, hey, this has serious legs. I want to be a part of it long term. And so now he's a minority equity partner in the deal. And we get his experience. And man, I want to grow big fast. And you know who Jesse Itzler is, Ryan?
Oh, yeah.
I'm an entrepreneur. He said one time, when I want to go big fast, I don't have time for experience. And that's exactly how I feel, man. I don't have time for that shit. So what do? We bring on a guy who's been franchising longer than I've been alive. And now here we are. We've been franchising for 3 years, and we're behaving like a company that's been franchising for 15 years.
I like it. Exponential growth comes with discomfort.
Yeah. And you don't know what you don't know. And you can't be afraid to ask.
Yeah, exactly. We had Christopher Lockhead, who's a wizard and an old school legend in marketing and category. I'll give you a little tip. Category Pirates. Look him up. Read a couple of his books. And listen to the podcast. It hasn't released yet, but a lot of wisdom there about radical growth and the opportunity that comes when you define and reimagine a category. So you're in a category that's crowded. or has been crowded historically, but you're kind of zigging when they zag, and it's kind of leaning into that. So congrats on all that growth. What any other speed bumps, as you like to call, or what, any tidbits? So you brought in the consultant. I'll call him a consultant. I know he's more than that now. You brought in the consultant. What was there any like I say sometimes 80-20, like he may have given you 100 tips, but like, was there like one or two that were like, oh shit, like that's brilliant? Or was it just more complex than that?
More complex than that because there's so many avenues. But I'll tell you, like, so one of the big things, like I'll tell you one of the big things I've taken from him that's been really cool. It wasn't necessarily something he told us.
Okay.
So the word is equanimity. Okay. He has equanimity is being able to keep your cool under pressure and being able, when things get difficult, when it's a high stress situation, he keeps his cool. The dude has an extremely high level of equanimity. Which you didn't, no surprise. He didn't become so before he was the CEO of the current company he's with, he was the CEO of TCBY Yogurt. They grew 400 to over 4,000 locations and then back to 2,000. And he was on the ride through all that. And man, like something I take away from him is he has a ridiculously high degree of equanimity, man. The guy is cool as a cucumber no matter what the situation. So over this past year, we have all the shortages going on in every industry, right? We have a polypropylene shortage going on. Well, polypropylene is like basically the plastic material that our containers are made out of. And shit was hitting the fan. We just got through this. And he's just cool as a cucumber, man. The guy's just Mr. Cool through every situation and such a nice guy. So I think that was something I took away was like, my dad was in business and I watched my dad in business. I was around a lot of people who were in business growing up. And man, I've watched people who they're beat red, screaming through their teeth whenever something goes wrong. And then it's like the higher and the more successful people you deal with, they're cool as a cucumber.
That's a good one. That's a big one. It takes time to kind of learn that one. I think that's a learned skill more than I think some people are more innately calm than others, certainly, or high strong. But one that took me some time, and I'm not sure I've mastered it. But because I get hot-headed like anyone else, and I think I internalize a lot of it, but I know there's moments where, because nothing ever good comes out of that emotion. It's emotion. And, there's a fine line between passion and emotion.
Yes, and that's, but funny you say that, I agree. There's definitely a fine line between passion and emotion, but it takes that passion to get going. And
yeah.
And I think that's why when you're early in business, I mean, shit, I was a hothead. I'm sure you were a hothead. And you know what? If you ask this guy, Jim, that came on with us, I bet you Jim was a hothead 40 years ago. So it's something we all grow through, but do you grow through that? Do you grow to where you have that degree of equanimity? Do you grow to where you handle all the situations just Mr. Cool? Do you grow to where you get your ego, you let your ego down to ask questions and to take on people who know better? I think those are all important facets of growth.
Where does your drive and ambition and your kind of ongoing I don't call it education, but you obviously seem, and I think the best entrepreneurs are curious creatures. So I see you've done like 75 Hard from Andy Frisella, who I know, and a lot of those things. But what are some of your other inspiration points?
So I definitely seek and find inspiration and lessons through all those guys: Andy Frisella, Jesse Itzler, Ed Milet. I mean, The list goes on, right? But something I'm trying to figure out for myself, and I don't know if this will answer your question. This is where I'm going with it. I hope it does. Something I'm trying to figure out for myself. I'm really at a stage where I'm very happy, and that's more important than anything. And with money comes the freedom, which creates happiness. Not that I'm saying I have a lot of money, but I'm just saying things are growing and going better. And it's like, what do I want, like long term? And that's what I'm trying to, like, I'm on a constant quest to figure out is like, what's your number that you want coming in the year? What's your number you want to be worth? And when does that not matter because you're spending time with your family and stuff, So I guess the inspiration for me. I want to figure out how to be long-term happy. If that makes sense. And I took my family, we went on a vacation. It was the first family vacation we've ever taken just a couple months ago. First time the kids have seen the beach, been on a plane. And man, the first time you go on a family vacation, it kind of hits different because you're not partying, getting crazy. You're doing it for your family. And when you see that, it's kind of I don't know, in a way that was, if that makes sense, that was kind of a turning point, even though it was just recent, because it was like, man, this is just bigger than.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And I can relate to that. I have 4 boys and
How old are they?
5, 9, 9, 11. We have a blended Brady Bunch family. My wife and I met. She had a 2-year-old and I had a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old when we met. And then we've had one together. So his, hers, and ours. And so it's definitely a different perspective. Whether it's a girlfriend or a wife and you're going on vacation, and then when you take the kids on and doing different things, it's definitely different.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, I think that's fair. And I think that's a lot of what a lot of people are seeking is, finding balance. But, it's more comfort. I describe it as freedom and comfort more than money.
Yeah.
Money allows that, but it empowers it.
And so many people, they don't, I think the majority of the world is caught up in just chasing the money because they think the money is going to give them everything. And money, man, it provides a tremendous level of freedom. Like, I'm not a person, God, I grew up around people who said money doesn't matter. And they talk shit. Money's your God, this and that. Those are all the people who never had any money. So there's that, first of all. If you are one of the people you stand on your pedestal saying money doesn't matter, you probably don't have any. But you can't just be seeking the money. Money provides this ridiculous level of freedom, but man, there's so much more that goes into it. And I think if people would be more conscious of I'm trying to become happy rather than I'm not trying to sound like this freaking Buddha.
Zen here. Austin Evans, also known as Zen Master.
Yeah. But, there's definitely, you have to be seeking the right things. I think that's an interesting kind of journey that everybody should be looking at more.
Yeah. No, I agree. Where's everything headed with Lean Kitchen? I mean, you're 20 plus open stores already, you're 27, you've got 50 franchises total sold, or locations, that will be coming online. What's the number this year? Where are we trying to get to?
Man, I want to just keep growing at a great clip. It's very important that it's one successful store at a time. I could have 100 sold right now if I sold to everyone who wanted a franchise, but I don't just sell to anybody and everybody because that's just a quick way. The way up is going to be it's all going to fall real quick. So I want successful stores. I want successful operators, franchisees that are kicking ass and they want to continue opening more. And like, that's something that's been really cool for us in the last several months. We've had franchisees that are buying 5 more locations, 3 more locations because they're doing well. That's important to me. But as long as we continue a healthy growth, man, and it's people who are doing well, shit, sky's the limit. I want to keep going. I don't know that I have a number. I said I want 100. I guess I said a while back I wanted 100 by the end of 2022. I think that. But successful ones matter more than just having the number. So,
back to the franchising thing, like, I know John, you're consultant and investor now, like you had brought in those things, but is there, and I know we could do 2 hours on the franchise playbook probably. So I acknowledge there's no simple answer to this question, but is there a handful of someone else out there that might be looking at franchising, or they have a business that they're thinking about franchising? Anything that you would guide them towards 3 or 4 key things, 1 or 2 key things, those kind of things?
Yeah. So, okay, if you're out there, you're looking to franchise your business, you have to realize that you are no longer in whatever business you're in. So if you have a sandwich shop, we're going to go to the most general franchise ever. You have a sandwich shop and you want to start franchising because the 5 people that that have done well said, well, I'd open one of your shops. Once you start franchising, you're not in the sandwich business. You are now in the sandwich business at your original business, and your franchise company is purely support. That's it. You're in support. Franchise companies fail left and right. Almost, I don't know what the percentage of them is, Ryan, but I bet you it's 75%. They fail because they fail to recognize they are now in the support, provide marketing, provide analytics business. They think they're in the sandwich business. They're not. So you correct me if I'm wrong, you're in Greenville?
Yep.
Okay, I love Greenville. Love Greenville. I actually, me and my wife, I took her to visit our franchisee there. We have a franchise store owner there that's killing it. He's a great guy. He'd be great to come on the show just because a little different avenue than me. He's franchising a business. He's just a killer guy. But me and my wife went out and visited them recently, and we loved it. We could move there in a second. There's a restaurant in your town that started there. Kicks ass. I'm not going to say the name of it. Kicks ass, though. And if he franchised, he would blow up he would do so well. And when I was talking to him, when I was in town, I was talking to him about franchising. He's like, man, I want to franchise. What should I do? And as I'm talking to him, he's then telling me all these things he wants to add into his business. He wants to start doing this, and he has this avenue that he wants to plug in because he thinks it will do really well in the restaurant. And I said, dude, chill. You need to shelf all that shit for later. Franchise what you've perfected. And the reason he wants to keep adding new things is because it's new to him, and it's new to his staff, and it's new to his local customer base. But what I was trying to make him realize is, dude, this is new to the whole country. What you're doing is a unique food item. Roll it out to everywhere and grow the shit out of it because it will stick. Stop on the new stuff. And he was like, really? I really want to do that, though. I mean, we've perfected that. No, you haven't. Perfect that later. Roll with what you have, and then just focus on the support and everything. So if you're thinking about franchising your business, perfect what you do well. Cut all the new shit out. Make sure the systems and processes and instructionals and scalability to get that to people, Google Drives, Dropboxes, whatever you're using, all that set up. And then you're going to need to hire a support system. You need to have somebody who's constantly in contact with your franchisees. They have to be constantly in contact with them. And we provide marketing to our franchisees. I mean, that's the biggest thing about if you're trying to franchise your business. It's so much more than just, it's a whole different industry, man.
Well, you become in the B2B business and not the B2C.
Yeah.
If you're franchising and your core business is B2C.
Yeah, imagine digital marketing. Yeah. If you decided you want to franchise or license what you're doing, you already know what you're doing here.
Might already be doing that.
Yeah.
Don't give away the secret yet. I'm kidding. But yes, keep going down that path. I want to hear this. I'm taking notes.
Yeah. You're no longer in the how can I give my customers good media? You are in the how can I get the people who come online as a Radcast professional, whatever it is, to understand how to talk to customers, how to onboard new customers, how to market to get new customers. You have to support them. You're not supporting, you know what I mean?
Exactly. 100%. It's systems and processes I've learned.
Yes.
And I don't mind saying it. It's not really a secret and it hasn't launched yet, but I have been considering franchising our agency.
Yeah.
And it's about systems and processes and the marketing we've got down, but the being a marketing agency, that might be, not saying it's easy, but one of the easier paths, but the systems and processes is the stickler.
I mean, I think you have a killer opportunity there, and I think that we could sit here and talk about it for 2 hours, and a media company could sit and listen, and it's a whole different ballgame going to do it. Most people can't implement.
I know. Execution is, I don't know if it's everything, but it's almost everything. What's the future hold for Austin, though? I mean, it sounds like we're leaning into lean kitchen, pun intended, as much as possible, and you got enough on the plate there. So sometimes, I talk to people and it's like, well, it's not clear what the next steps are. It seems like your path's cut out, but what else we got coming down the pipe?
Yeah, so I have diversified, like we're saying, ice cream stores. I own 3 lean kitchen stores myself, and I own 2 ice cream stores, which I got into those because one was a local iconic business. It was very mismanaged. I saw a really good opportunity there. We ended up quadrupling their best sales year ever. Tripling their best sales year ever, our first year of opening. And it was a great opportunity. And then I found another ice cream cone building just like mine in Canada and brought it down. And I'm developing another one of those. But so I had the bandwidth to take those on and good management in place and stuff. I would keep opening stores myself, but I need to focus on the franchising. And I gave you the long tail answer because there's probably people just like us who are entrepreneurial and they want to take on everything. But bandwidth is the most important thing. Bandwidth, what can you handle? And then do you have the people to help you handle it? And so definitely I've stopped opening my own stores. I'm not doing more ice cream stores for the foreseeable future. My plan is to lean hardcore into Lean Kitchen and see what we can do with that. And then any money that gets taken off the table, invest it smart and try to diversify there into passive things there, if you will. And when I say passive, it's not like, it's truly like, I'm talking like stock market, whatever, real estate, things like that.
Dogecoin.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't get in on that. Did you get in on that?
Oh, yeah.
You got in. How did you get in it?
About 20 grand in like 30 days.
That's nice. Yeah. I'm doing Ethereum. I love Ethereum.
It's almost like day trading. I mean, I put it in and watch it for a week, take some out, put it in, take it out. And
Dogecoin, you got to. Maybe Ethereum.
Ethereum you can ride. It's going to go up to like $20,000 over the next year. And it's like at 4 now.
Yeah. Once Tesla put Bitcoin on their balance sheet, I thought, well, shit, I can do that shit. So I put Ethereum on the balance sheet. So that worked out well so far. Worked out well so far.
Good. It's the wild, wild west in cryptocurrency for sure. But
especially small market coins.
Well, man, where can everybody keep up with all things Austin Evans, all things Lean Kitchen, and the like?
Yeah. So AustinREvans.com is my website. I do some blogs there. I'll be starting the Speed Bumps podcast. Having guests on, probably have yourself on. And then Lean Kitchen, leankitchenco.com. Just Google Lean Kitchen. You're looking for a badass franchise. It's every market I talk to, they're always like, my market could use that. Yep, everywhere could. So everybody's looking to get healthy, looking for convenience. And then Austin_Evans7 on Instagram. So
you know where to keep up with Austin Evans. A lot of great things happening with one of, if not the fastest growing meal prep companies in the U.S., Lean Kitchen. Austin Evans, it was great having you. You know where to find us. We're at theradcast.com, at the.rad.cast on Instagram. I'm at Ryan Alford on Instagram and at Ryan.Alford on TikTok. We'll see you next time on the Radcast.